Hey, what's up guys, Nathan746 here, coming at you with a deck profile for my Ghostricks. Now these just came out in Shadow Specters, so they're relatively new and they're actually a very underrated deck by some people. And they're very good, so let me go ahead and explain some things here and explain my choices. Alright, starting off with the monster lineup, 3 Ghostricks Stein. Ghostricks Stein is just like, you need to run 3 of this card, or at least 2 maybe. Just because he's your searcher for if you need another Ghostrick house, if you want to get another Ghostrick out. Vanish, I guess is what it's called. Oh, okay, that's Mansion. See, they got new names. Okay, Vanish and Ghostrick Scare. He can get you either of these when he inflicts battle damage. So you need him to attack directly, and I'll explain that in a moment for those who don't know. Okay, I've just recently started running 2 Ghostrick Ghoul. I'm kind of iffy about it. I'm thinking about taking maybe one of them out and adding a 3rd Specter, and then again taking both of them out and just adding a 3rd Specter and maybe a 3rd Witch or a 3rd Mary. I'm not entirely sure yet. But what it does is, of course, you can change it to face down defense position. You can do that with all of them. But during your main phase 1, you can target a Ghostrick monster you control, and its attack becomes equal to the combined original attack of all Ghostrick monsters currently on the field until the end of your opponent's next turn. But if it does, only it can attack. So in a sense, it's kind of like Soraka from Blackwings in some kind of way. But yeah, I'm not too sure about it. Tour guide, just to set up the rank 3 plays, because this deck goes crazy with rank 3s. You can make the instant Alucard. You can make the Mecha-equipped Engineer. I don't know if I said that right. You can make a Zen Mains, Fortune Tune, and Leviathan Dragon. I'll run him just as a beater, but I'll get to that later. 3 Jiangshi, you need this card. Definitely at 3. This is your searcher to get to that. Because for every Ghostrick monster you control, they have to be face up though, I've learned. At least on here they do. For everyone you control, when she's flipped, you add a Ghostrick from your deck to your hand whose level is equal to however many. So if you want one of these 2, like they're level 3, you have to have like 3 Ghostricks on the field, which is not really that hard once you get rolling. Alright, Ghostrick Witch. 2 of her, just because she's okay. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and put it in face-down defense mode. Like, she's kind of like a Book of Moon, which is why I'm not running Book of Moon at this current time, because she's pretty much, it's like 2 books right there. Then again, Book of Moon doesn't sound too bad, but I don't know yet. I'm still testing. Alright, Ghostrick Yugioh. When it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, the monster that attacks it, you can change it to face down defense position, and if you do, it cannot change its position. So let's say your opponent has a giant beefy monster on the field and they attack you with it and destroy her. Her effect will put it in face down defense mode, and then you're set, because now they can't flip it. So it's a very good thing, unless they use an effect, I guess. Ghostrick Lantern. I run 3 of this one over the Spectre, because 3 of these, like, if they attack directly, you can negate the attack and special summon this face down defense, which is what you want. You can, if they attack a Ghostrick, you can negate the attack and special it face down. So it's kind of like an attack negator. It's kind of like a battle fader with monsters on the field or without monsters. Okay, Spectre. I might put it back to 3 or Mary even 3 and take these out. But Spectre, because when a Ghostrick you control is actually destroyed and sent to the graveyard by battle or card effect, you just special summon it in face down defense position like this one. Only difference is once you do that, you then draw a card. So it's like a plus. Alright, Mary, just because when you take damage, you can discard it and special summon 1 Ghostrick from your deck in face down defense, and you can special summon any of them. So it's really handy. But yeah, that's my monster lineup. Now for spells, obviously they're all darks. Allure of Darkness, Dark Hole, obviously, 2 Terraforming, just so I can get to Ghostrick Mansion faster. Recurring Nightmare, just because he has 0 defense. Let's see who all does. He has 0 defense, and he has 0 defense. A bunch of them have 0 defense, so it makes perfect sense. Just 2 MST, because I'm not ever been too worried about back row. 3 Swords of Concealing Light, just because you want to get your opponent's monsters in face down defense mode so you can attack directly. But I'll explain that now. Ghostrick Mansion, because monsters can't attack face down defense position monsters, but if all the monsters you control are in face down defense, your opponent or you can attack each other directly. Therefore, his effect is when he inflicts battle damage, you get your Surge, and any battle damage you take is halved other than when you're attacked by a Ghostrick. So you activate Swords of Concealing Light and put all their monsters face down. Have Mansion on the field, attack with Stein and hit him for 1600 and get a search off. So it's really good it's a very good combination of cards. Okay. Mirror Force, obviously just to stop attacks. Ghostrick Vanish, just because you reveal a Ghostrick from your hand and this turn Ghostricks you control and face down defense position monsters. Period. So pretty much everything Ghostrick cannot be targeted by or destroyed by any card effect, which is great. Okay, my favorite card, Ghostrick Scare. If they're usually like face down. All the Ghostricks usually are on your turn. They should be. So what happens is, say your opponent's about to XZ. So when they special summon out their second rank level 4 or level 5, whatever may have you, you activate Ghostrick Scare, and if you have 2 on the field face up or face down, you flip them face up and then flip their monsters face down. It's a very, very good card for Ghostrick standards anyway. And 1 Compulse, just because Compulse is really good. Okay, let me explain the extra deck real quick. Leviathan Dragon, just because he's a beater. I did try to run him and then that one water card that I can't remember the name of right now that you can overlay on a rank 3 with no materials. Can't remember his name, but I used to play that too, but I decided nah. Alright, 3 Alucard, because it's the signature for Ghostricks, and you can target a set card your opponent controls and pop it. And if it's sent to the graveyard, once per turn, you can target one other Ghostrick card in your grave and add it to your hand. It's a pretty good combination of effect. Alright, Mech-equipped Engineer, the card I couldn't name earlier. You can detach 1 material from it. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Then target 1 face-up attack position monster you control, change it to face-up defense, and then it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So essentially it's saving your cards. Zenmain's obvious, everyone knows why. Fortune Tune, just because he's like Zenmain's just without the pop ability, and he gets put back in here, so it's like 1's enough. Herald of Sacred Light, just because you can add a monster from your graveyard back to your hand, then shuffle a card from your hand into your deck. He's a great recovery card. 2 Gotchis, just to gotcha up, just in case all else fails, if I ever get to that point. 1 Ghostrick Dullahan. I've never really used him, but just because he's a Ghostrick to fit the theme, and he gains 200 attack for each Ghostrick you control, and during either player's turn you can detach a material, then target 1 monster on the field, and its attack gets cut in half till the end of the turn. Alright, 2 Slacker Magician, just because it's really easy to make Slacker Magician, and it's a very good stall card. A lot of stall going on here. But, number 54, Lionheart, just because it can't be destroyed by battle and face-up attack, but when you take damage involving battles, you inflict the damage to your opponent equal to the same amount you take. If it battles another monster during damage calculation in either player's turn, I can detach a material from it, and they take all the damage I would take. So it's like a burn card, kind of. And little old number 63, Shamoji Sauji. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that. You can detach 1 material from it only once per turn though, and either at the start of your opponent's next standby phase, each player draws a card, or each of you gain 1,000 life points. So it's a +1 for both of you. It's kind of evened out. So yeah. Alright, now let me explain some of the cards. I was looking at rank 3s, but some of the cards that I chose not to play, and explain why. Dark Arm Dragon is a very obvious one to start out with. And I know I can play it, but because they're all darks, but like the whole point of the deck is just flip monsters face down and face up. Dark Arm is a good get out of jail free card sort of, but I never really, when I did play it, because I first built this deck, I had it in here. I never drew it, but when I did, I never did anything with it but allure. Because I almost always had too many in the grave or too little in the grave. Because of when I do this, I'd always have too little, so I just figured it was just a nuisance for me. Alright, let's see. 2 Ghost Trick Vanish. Usually I'd never have had to use 2 of them. I started out running 2 as well, but I'd never had to use it but one time, and that was pretty much it. Because people usually rage quit or just lose by that point. Or win, whichever way it goes. But yeah, that's the only 2 I can think of right now. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, it always helps. And if you have any recommendations, like the switch between the ghouls and the specter and Mary and whatnot, if you have any recommendations, please post it in the comments. Let me know. I'm always open to criticism. I'm always open to anything that you guys have to say. Well, except, you know, trolls. But other than that, it's fine. Alright, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all later.